Welcome to One Human Channel. I'm going to be using this channel as well to communicate about the city that I'm the mayor of, Galesburg, Illinois. I think it's important to get information out, and this is one way to do so. Our newspaper is not following city business nearly to the extent it used to, and that's problematic. And that's another reason why I feel that this channel is a good way to communicate. I want to be as transparent as possible. I want the city to be as transparent as possible. I think it's important for the residents to have an opportunity to hear from their mayor directly. Not all people go to the city council meetings or listen to the archived videos. Not everyone sees me in the grocery store. So this is another way people can see and hear directly from me about what's going on in the city. We are going to spend the first part, and these are short videos, but the first part is since it's the first video, talking about logistics. That is ways to reach me, ways to reach and communicate with the city. And I created a slideshow for that, so let's get started with that now. Okay, so I created a website called mayorpeter.com, pretty easy to remember. It has a lot of links and things I'll talk about. Now, why did I do this? Well, obviously, it's important as a political representative to be very forthright about who I am, but it's also very important, I think, as you'll see, to get different information out. The City of Galesburg has a wonderful website, has chock full of all kinds of information, way beyond what I'm providing here. But this is, I guess, perhaps a way of cutting to the chase in some areas and allowing you, as a resident or a friend of Galesburg, to see what I'm up to and what I think is important. Again, mayorpeter.com. The first link that you'll see there is contact. And this is what you can find on the contact page. You can email me directly. You can email the entire city council. Those are the voting members of the city. I have a link to my city webpage, which has additional information about me. And then my Facebook page, which I'll share with you in a minute. And then I also have links to We Are Galesburg, both website and Facebook. That's a project I started earlier this year, which I think really tries to emphasize the positive things going on in Galesburg now and in the past. The other thing you can find in this page is called Galesburg Matters. And that's a page, as you see, this is the top of it, and it focuses on key documents, puts them in one organized space, mayor's things that I have published about the city, statements I've made, some audio and video that I think are valuable, and then some important news. If you scroll down on this page, you'll see this. And we have hot topics. And the hot topic of the day right now is the community center. And I'll show you the page I created for that effort. You also see Galesburg's government links. If you want to report an issue, if you see a tree down, electric wire down, these types of things, you can report. I guess electric wire would be potentially more dangerous, then you should call 911. But these are the kinds of things that a place you can go to file concerns, or even maybe aspirational things. So a lot of people don't even know that exists, but here's the link. It's on the city website, but I'm sharing it here to make it easy to find. The city council agendas, which includes everything that we do at our city council meetings, is shown here. We also have a live stream or an archive stream of all our meetings, and that link is provided. And then I also have a link to the elected officials page. This is a page that allows people to go and see who their elected officials are, find out a little bit about them. The community center page I put together looks like this. This is not the entire page, but it has most of the information. You see I have a little bit of the background of the project. On the left side, I have the important documents and links to all those documents. You can find almost all these documents on the city webpage, but they're a little less easy to find, I think. I've heard that from people, so I wanted to put everything here. And as you can see, it's chronological, and there's a lot of things that have been going on, and a lot of reports and a lot of research that's been done in the last couple of years. On the right side, we have key local news on this topic. So if you want to, if you've been away or you were out of touch with it, or you want to know the specifics, remind yourself of the specifics, I have some of the key links here. And then on the bottom right, there's lots of community center excellence sites. So as you can see, some emerging trends in community centers. Below that, there's lots of examples of community centers in our area that I would hope people would learn a little bit about, because if we're going to create our own, we need to know about what's been done, what's tried and true, what's successful, what's not. And I also point out, this is what I put here is a lot of my own imagination of what people want. But if you want something else on here that's not here, please let me know. I'll add it to the list. I want to be as transparent as possible, and this is a tool that I hope allows more civic engagement. I also have my mayor's Facebook page. This is what it looks like. I have about 1,000 followers on this. You're welcome to join and follow. I try to put things here that are more timely, more immediate. So if, say, something opens or closes, I try to post that here. If there's some news media that has come out that I'm trying to send out and publicize, I'll put that here as well. And it also allows people to ask questions of me in a public way. I think it's very important for me as a elected official and a representative of this community to respond to people in an open fashion, not behind closed doors, but literally, if you ask me a question, I will answer it on this page, not only so you can see my answer, but so everyone else can see my answer. And lastly, I have an email list. I started that when I first got elected. You don't have to be my friend or foe or supporter. I guess a friend or foe, yes, either way. But you don't have to be my friend in order to be on this list. If you want to know what I'm communicating to the public, please join. I have about 400 people on this list. I send out an email about every 2 to 3 weeks, so it's not overburdensome. It's just another way for me to get information out to people to know what the mayor of their city is thinking about. With that, I'm done with my logistical part of the presentation. Let's just talk briefly about a couple of hot items and some big news, as it were. What's going on in Galesburg? What needs to be discussed as of the end of July 2023. Okay, so for the last part of this presentation, this will probably be most likely what I spend most of my time on when these videos, is to touch on a few updates. So currently we have the community center, and that task force has been assembled, and it should be meeting very soon. I included a welcome letter in the task force packet, and thanking them for their service and for encouraging them and wishing them well on this very important endeavor. These will be public meetings, and so I'll be announcing, and of course the city will, when they'll be held, and you're obviously welcome to attend these meetings. Another thing you may have heard of, I wrote about this in December. We've been saving quite a bit of money because we have aggregated power in the city of Galesburg for the residents as well as the city itself. You may not realize how much savings that is. I discussed it in December. I won't repeat that now, but there's every reason to think we've had that savings as well over the course of this year. And I'm crunching some final numbers, but I'll have a report on that. But the main point is, if you've opted out of the city's plan for some reason, someone called you and told you they could give you a better deal, I promise you the city's deal is the best deal. And I'll put some links in the description of this video so you can access that information. And you can easily just call and get it switched back. So if you switched out of the city's plan for some reason, and the best indication that you did that would be that the price of your electricity spiked last summer in 2022. If your electricity did not spike at that time, you're probably on the city's plan. We use home field, so that should be on your bill as well. If you have any questions, you can contact me or contact the city, and they'll let you know. Lots of information on city's financials from 2022 are now available. They've been fully audited. We'll be receiving that audit at the August 7th meeting, which I encourage everyone to come to. There'll be a lot of items on that agenda that will be of relevance to you as a resident of Galesburg. I don't have all the final numbers, but I can tell you, in front of me, and I want to wait till the meeting to really crunch through them. But in 2022, we had an excess, that is a surplus of monies. Our revenues exceeded our expenses by over $5.5 million. And in 2021, we exceeded it, our revenues exceeded our expenses by over $4 million. So things are looking really good for the city. Now, what we do with that extra money will be clarified in a future video. And at the meeting, the council will decide how that money is allocated. And lastly, I just want to thank Mr. Tom Simpkins. I ran into him at a baseball game, and he informed me that they've already planted over 100 trees this year. That is in addition to the 112, I believe, that were planted last year. Most of those 112 are still alive, thanks to all the great work Tom does as the Special Projects Coordinator of Galesburg, as well as the many volunteers. And those beautiful flowers you see downtown and around, that's also done with the assistance of Downtown Council, but also volunteers. And so I want to really thank them. Our city looks beautiful, and it wouldn't happen without their efforts. With that, I'll call it a day, and I'll be on here again with another update maybe in a couple weeks. Thank you. Have a great time. Enjoy your summer.